For 35 years, Dollar Tree made a simple promise. Everything in the store costs exactly $1. No exceptions, no fine print. However, a few years ago, they broke that promise. Once a brand starts breaking the one rule it was built on, it becomes difficult to stop. Since then, the company has gone through 3 CEOs, lost $1 billion on a deal meant to save it, and, somewhat surprisingly, started targeting customers with six-figure incomes. Today, we're left wondering, is Dollar Tree recovering from these setbacks, or is it quietly falling apart behind its still-open storefronts? Stick around, because the conclusion isn't straightforward. This situation isn't a clear bankruptcy story or a clean comeback. It's messier and more intriguing than either. Let's delve into it. To understand how it all began, let's go back to 1986 when 5 stores opened under a name that clearly stated their offer. Only $1. Everything inside cost $1. This wasn't a sale or a seasonal gimmick. It was the company's entire identity. For decades, this simplicity was the main appeal. Shoppers didn't need a calculator while walking down the aisles, nor did they have to check price tags. Whatever they picked up, they already knew the cost. However, there was a catch, and it's obvious when you say it out loud. $1 in 1986 doesn't have the same purchasing power today. For years, the company devised clever ways to address this issue, shrinking package sizes, cutting product quality, and squeezing costs out of the supply chain. Anything to maintain that magic price point. Eventually, however, the reality of inflation caught up. When Dollar Tree finally increased prices from $1 to $1.25, it signified more than just a price hike. It was the company's admission that the promise it had made to customers for 35 years was no longer sustainable. From that point, chaos ensued. Since 2020, Dollar Tree has cycled through 3 different CEOs. 3 in just a few years, an astonishing turnover for a company with thousands of stores nationwide. Part of this turmoil can be traced back to an investor group that acquired a significant stake in the company and demanded a leadership shakeup. They accused the company's leadership of poor management and pushed for new voices on the board. Dollar Tree eventually settled this matter by significantly expanding its board and bringing in outside perspectives, including a former CEO of Dollar General. That same executive took the helm of Dollar Tree the following year but stepped down 2 years later due to health issues. On top of that, a finance chief who had been with the company for almost 14 years walked away not long after, and his replacement didn't last much longer either. Imagine what this situation looks like inside a company of this size. It's like trying to steer a cruise ship when the captain keeps getting replaced every year or two, with each new captain having a slightly different idea of where the ship should be headed. This creates confusion instead of a clear strategy and leads to constant, costly turmoil. To be fair, this particular issue has calmed down now. The current CEO, who was promoted from within, initially took over on an interim basis and was later made permanent. He is now the longest-serving CEO during this turbulent period. However, settling down after such high turnover is akin to a house finally being quiet after a hurricane. The storm may be over, but the damage still lingers. Now, let's discuss a decision that may explain much of this chaos: the acquisition of Family Dollar. In 2015, Dollar Tree purchased Family Dollar for $8.5 billion, outbidding a rival bid from Dollar General, primarily because regulators were concerned that a Dollar General acquisition might create too much market power. At the time, this appeared to be a savvy move. 2 well-known chains joining forces. They even attempted to create combination stores split down the middle, with one brand on each side, featuring a photo of this setup in their annual report alongside a headline that touted the beginning of a new chapter. The issue, however, was that Family Dollar and Dollar Tree were never truly comparable stores. They served different customers, operated with different pricing strategies, and were situated in different neighborhoods. Attempting to merge them was much like trying to combine 2 restaurants with entirely different menus and call it one kitchen. Technically feasible, but ultimately unsatisfactory for everyone involved. By 2023 and 2024, the cracks had widened, resulting in significant losses primarily due to write-downs associated with Family Dollar. In 2024, the company announced it would close nearly 1,000 stores, the majority of which were Family Dollar locations. By 2025, they decided to divest entirely, selling the chain for roughly $1 billion, just a fraction of what they had originally paid a decade earlier. A brief pause here. This is genuinely one of the costliest corporate mistakes in retail over the last 10 years, and it sheds light on much of the instability that observers were noticing. If you're interested in these in-depth analyses of how major companies inadvertently self-destruct through decisions like this, consider subscribing to this channel as we explore new examples every week. Now, back to Dollar Tree. Here's a surprising aspect of the story. With Family Dollar gone, Dollar Tree didn't just refocus on its original customer base, it aggressively began targeting a completely different demographic, wealthier shoppers. This may seem counterintuitive for a store built around dollar bin bargains, but the reasoning becomes clear upon reflection. When money tightens and inflation impacts everyone's budgets, even those earning well over $100,000 a year start seeking deals. Dollar Tree reported that around 60% of its new customers now fall into this higher income bracket. Consequently, the company has intentionally opened new locations in more affluent neighborhoods, including a significant store in one of Texas's upscale suburbs. Interestingly, this strategy mirrors what companies like Chipotle have been exploring: the idea that everyone eventually becomes a bargain shopper. They just need to find a bargain they can trust. To accommodate this shift, Dollar Tree quietly expanded a pricing experiment that had previously existed in only 100 test stores, allowing items to be priced up to $5. This experiment has now rolled out to the majority of their locations, with some items priced as high as $10. While the company maintains that the vast majority of sales still come from items under $2, it's important to note that Dollar Tree selling $10 items is not the store most people remember. This raises an uncomfortable question. Did losing its original identity actually lead to financial gains? The numbers present a mixed picture, which is the most intriguing part. In 2022, when this shift truly accelerated, customer visits dropped by about 4%. However, those who did enter the stores spent significantly more per trip, resulting in an overall sales increase of roughly 9% that year, and sales have remained positive nearly every year since then. In other words, fewer people are choosing Dollar Tree, but those who do are spending more. Whether this is a smart, sustainable trade-off or a warning sign about losing their core audience depends on who you ask, and honestly, it might even vary depending on the year you're considering. There are also external pressures at play. Tariffs on imported goods, much of it from China, once threatened to cut earnings by as much as half. However, the company later recovered over $100 million in refunds. Additionally, a tornado destroyed one of their major distribution centers in Oklahoma in 2024, with rebuilding expected to take until 2027. Meanwhile, they've opened a massive new distribution hub in Arizona to support growth across 5 states. So, is Dollar Tree rising or falling? The answer genuinely depends on which chapter of the last 5 years you're examining. They have eliminated the deal that was dragging them down and are opening hundreds of new stores every year. Their sales numbers, on paper, continue to climb. Yet they have also broken the very promise that built their brand, cycled through leadership 3 times, and are now pursuing a completely different type of customer than the one that made them famous in the first place. This isn't a straightforward rise and fall story with a definite conclusion. It's a company in the midst of completely reinventing itself, and it remains uncertain whether customers will stick around long enough to see that process through. So, rise or fall? Honestly, I think it's still too early to say for sure, And that's what makes the situation worth watching closely over the next couple of years. If you've noticed that your local Dollar Tree feels different lately, please share your observations in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're seeing on the ground. And if you enjoyed exploring how a company can lose its identity while still seeing rising sales, that's exactly the kind of story this channel covers every week. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next one.